This is the founding meeting of Sapere Aude, as you can see. And first we will go through a short presentation, Alex and I, about what we're planning to do with this association. Yeah. So first of all, we will introduce ourselves, then we will mention our purpose and our vision, and then we will talk a little bit about the lectures, which is why we are here today. So introduction, so I start with myself, or yeah? My name is Adrian Sanchez Reyes Febrian, but since my surname is so complicated for literally everyone, both Spaniards and here in Sweden and everywhere I've went to, you know, I have, if you go to the website, I have picked Azara as my pseudonym because it's a beautiful surname from my grandmother's side. And I think, well, let's bring it in. Everyone can say Azara, not Sanchez Reyes Febrian. And yes, I'm a theoretical physicist from Barcelona, and I work in quantitative finance. So I am the chairman for this association for Sapere Aude, together with Alex. And if you want to...
Yes. So my name is Alexander, and I also have a background in engineering physics.
Yeah.
I work in quantitative finance. Used to work with Adrian.
Yeah.
Now I hang out in the bank, and I serve as the secretary for the association.
For the association, exactly. And Alex and I thought about this since, I would say, September of last year. It has taken a while to set this up, but we were having meetings together, we wrote a manifesto, and we set up the website. And then just a couple of months ago, in my dinner table at home, we founded the association with our wives, actually. But this is the actual first meeting. So let's start with the name, you know, it's like Sapere Aude. What is Sapere Aude? Well, you can guess that it's Latin. And actually, Sapere Aude is an answer that Kant gave to a question which was posed in 1784, which was, what is the Enlightenment? Yeah? And he responded like this, Kant, the philosopher, responded like this: enlightenment is man's emergence from his self-imposed knowledge. And knowledge is the inability to use one's own understanding without another's guidance. Sapere Aude. Yes. So Sapere Aude means dare to know, you know, in such a way that, for example, we humans have relied a lot on, for example, God. Yeah, the concept of God has been. We have taken God by the hand, for example, one could say, and we have relied on God, yeah, to be able to move forward, for example. And this is one of the answers that he gives. It's like Sapere Aude is to think by yourself, to question everything, yeah, to question everything, and to become, let's say, adolescent in your knowledge, yeah, yet that you don't need to rely on figures of authority, yes, that you can think for yourself. And this is, I would say, a beautiful motto, yeah, Sapere Aude, and this is why we gave it to our association. But I say here, but we don't only reason, we also feel, yeah. And we will see why. We will see why, because we will also put a lot of effort into spreading not only knowledge, yeah, this kind of mindset, but also in art and poetry, yes. So one of our goals, for example, is to transition from the age of information that we have now, or we have had until now, which is the internet, to the age of knowledge, because information is not the same as knowledge, yeah. So we need to understand, and this is why Sapere Aude, yes. So our purpose, what is the purpose of the association? Is we try to promote and defend the values of the Enlightenment that we have here, so reason and critical thinking, science, freedom, progress, but also, as I said, the poetry of humankind with art, love, music. Here is our logo with a noctua, yes, this is Athena's noctua, Athena here. And we are also apolitical, so we don't belong to any political party, and democratic. So everything can be looked up in the statuses, actually. So it's open for everyone. Our vision, yes, Alex, if you want to say something here. I mean, we are going to have lectures, right?
Yes. So the idea is that we want to be an association to promote the values that Adrian just talked about, but how we do that will depend a bit on what the members want.
Yes.
So what we talked about is having lectures where we either have them amongst ourselves in topics that we are especially familiar with, or inviting others to hold them, to present on an interesting topic, to write articles on our website, and maybe even to do outreach programs where we could go to schools, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
And anything else that the members think is interesting and is in line with the purpose, so to speak.
Exactly. So those of you interested in being active members, you could stay after the lecture that we will have now, and we could discuss, like, okay, how do you want to organize this? Because as I said, this is a democratic association, and we have thought about lectures and debates, but we can go forward, yeah? And this is the website. I think all of you have seen it, yes? So then the lectures, for example, we're talking about a lot about the lectures. So as I say here, if you're passionate, you're welcome to present anything about science, sociology, and politics. For example, you, Alex, are interested in sociology and politics. It's like we don't belong to a political party, but we can talk about politics. And for example, the age of misinformation, no, and interesting lessons on how we manage our energy, in the country, and philosophy, psychology, literature, history of art, music. Rita, maybe. Yes, it would be fantastic. Yeah, or pedagogy also. I mean, maybe I can convince my wife to give us a lecture on how to raise your kids the way you do, which is fantastic. Yeah. So in a nutshell, this is a picture that tries to convey what Dante, and here my Italian friends, we will read a lot about Dante in these lectures because I actually love him. Yes, Dante wrote a book called The Convivio, and The Convivio is basically a banquet. Dante starts the book and he says, well, there is a banquet, yes, and what I'm going to try to do in this book is to try to pick up the pieces of the food of the people who are eating on the table, yes, and I'm going to give it to you. And what is this food that he's talking about? It's knowledge, yes. And who are the people sitting in the table? It's the big thinkers. It's Plato. It's all Saint Augustine, And so he's trying to say, well, our association, in fact, is going to try to mimic this convivio. It's like, okay, we know there are all of these giant thinkers and artists, We don't pretend we know anything because we know anything 100% because we are humble, but we will try to pick up the pieces and spread it through all of you and all the public as well. Yes. So that is the purpose of the association, is to try to, pick up the pieces of this food, yes. So we can go